Grenadiers. The mere name brings thoughts of badassery, the backbone of the army. So grab a nice cool beverage and a nice place to sit. We're going to discuss Grenadiers in Empire Total War, how to use them, how not to use them, and how to use them like a badass. So if this is something you want to learn, sit back and stay to the end because I'm going to break down some secrets to how to use Grenadiers the right way. And if you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, as it does help the channel as we try to make it to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's get this started. Friendships are great, once said.
The most beautiful girl or woman in the world would be a matter of indifference to me. But tall soldiers, they are my weakness.
Okay. Alright, so first we're going to discuss how not to use Grenadiers. So you're going to see here there's 3 Grenadiers in the center of the Polish-Lithuanian lines. Now, they're surrounded by a bunch of lines and militia and even some cav. But unfortunately, they do not use any line support. They just go in it alone. I mean, that's definitely brave, the brave Grenadiers. But they're going to go after this French unit here on the slope of the woods, on the slope of the hill here, in front of the woods. But you can see there's 2 British guards. I can't remember if they're Coldstream or just guards. And also 2 Chasseurs-Rapides coming up off the slope of the hill. And the Chasseurs-Rapides are going to start shooting at one of the other French units, but they do quickly see the Grenadiers coming up and start shooting into the Grenadier on the flank here. Now, the British Guards are going to start shooting at the other flanking Grenadier, and actually, I thought the French Guard was shooting at the flank unit, but it's actually shooting at the one in the center. So, let's see how this unfolds and see how successful this Grenadier push is. Okay, so how do you think they did? Yeah, looks to me like they got a big fat goose egg. 0 kills. Alright, so the expectation of this player was that they were going to run up and get grenade volleys with all 3 Grenadiers and absolutely decimate these guards that were becoming problematic for their lines. But the reality was they did not send any line support in, and they ended up losing all 3 Grenadiers in the process. Now, multiplayer, that's a cost of $680 apiece. So, yeah, it's a pretty devastating loss. Alright, so let's take a look at a campaign video I did just recently. You can see I was going to use line support, but that Austrian line had moved back, so I wasn't able to use line support. So I went in naked, if you will, and I got volleyed first volley, and they have a pretty devastating hit on me, but I'm going to quickly take them down. And see how I'm doing this? What you do is as soon as you see the grenade leave the hand, you're going to run forward and then click grenades and throw. So watch again. Run forward after the grenades leave the hands, click the grenades, and click on the unit you want to throw them at. And then you can throw super fast and absolutely devastate units with great effect using this. And yeah, 150-man Austrian line gone in no time flat. Now, I learned this technique from watching 2 different players. First of which is Eno 223, and he has a very unique and interesting way of using Grenadiers. He will use them in both throwing and shooting. As you can see here, he's using actually Poland Lithuania's Grenadiers and Guard Grenadiers disguised as Dutch, but yeah, it's actually the Polish Lithuanians. Alright, so the other player that I learned, and actually most of this effect was from Akilamak, and he was probably just a very feared player because of his use of Grenadiers and his use of micro. And in this, like I said, this technique is a very micro heavy technique, and I learned it from watching a replay of his in this actual match. You see how he was throwing the grenades that fast, and I'm holding down the space bar so you can see the technique. So he's stopping, he's throwing, running forward, and throwing. So that's how you have to do it. You have to actually, as soon as you see the grenade leave their hand, unclick the grenade and then run forward, click the grenade, and click the unit to target. And that's how you can throw it super fast. As you can see, he is going to clear out these British units extremely fast, and it is probably, like I said, it is the absolute best way to clear out an army using Grenadiers. And you can see he's using covering fire with the Scots behind, and that is helping to really displace any army coming at him. He's shooting the cav down and using the Grenadiers to basically explode them. But also you can see that if they do decide to run, they're still getting shot by the Scots. So he's going to continue to move them forward as he maneuvers his Grenadiers. And yes, he does take some damage with the Grenadiers, but he's inflicting way heavier damage with the Grenadiers. Alright, so to be clear, let's break down these tips. Alright, so having a successful grenade throw versus getting shot down before you even get to throw a grenade is, number one, don't run into an enemy unit head on that's fully loaded with your Grenadiers. You want to make sure that they volleyed out first, so you're running forward, because you got to close the distance. Because it's not 70 range to throw the grenades, it's more like 40 or 45. So you got to close the distance. So you want to make sure that your enemy is already volleyed before you start the run. Now, once you do get up, then you start using the rapid throwing of the grenades. And that will help you to be able to completely dislodge an enemy out of heavily entrenched areas, so that you can take key areas on the battlefield like woodlands and put the enemy into the open ground. So using these techniques, like I said, never ever go headlong into an enemy position when they haven't volleyed with your key units like Grenadiers. Always make sure they volleyed out. I can't stress that enough. Another good technique to use to be able to get your Grenadiers in without getting shot down is, if you're playing a multiplayer, is to cause a disruption somewhere else so that your opponent is busy microing elsewhere, so you can get in and get nice, good throws from your Grenadiers without having the enemy run away. So disruption is a very good and key tip, or point, or whatever. You know what I mean. Alright, so hopefully this has been helpful to you and helped you learn something you did not know about Grenadiers and how to use them effectively. A lot of people think that using Grenadiers is a wasteful unit because it's only half the size of a line, but that's not necessarily the case, as you have unlimited ammo with grenades as long as you have bullets left to shoot. If you don't have ammo to shoot with your rifles, you cannot throw grenades. That's kind of the key to using them as well. Now, that can be an important factor, especially using them in campaigns, as, you know, some battles you can fight 1 or 2 stacks of armies and you run out of ammunition before you have completed killing off all the enemy units. So having a unit like Grenadiers that you don't necessarily have to use the bullets, you can use the grenades. This will help you keep ammunition in your pocket and be able to stay in a fight versus the AI who can bring quite a bit more units to the table than you can. But anyways, I think that concludes it. So if you have any questions or comments about the use of Grenadiers, please leave them in the comment section below. I do appreciate all your support. And once again, if you did find this content helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It does help the video reach other people, and also it does help the channel. So don't forget to subscribe as well, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks again, everyone.